everybody. Welcome to If These Walls Could Talk. I'm just going to center myself a little better. There we go. I don't have Tym Moss here with me today to tell me how to center myself, but you know I'm centered anyway. Speaking of Tym Moss, I want to welcome you to the show. Tim is not with us today because he is doing his staged reading tonight for Salvation at Urban Stages. It starts at 7:00 tonight. Tickets are free. And he will be there, of course, with the director, producer, writer, Kit Anthony. And I intend to be there. So please, if you can possibly join us tonight, 7:00, Urban Stages. Tym Moss. Be there or be square. So I hope everybody's having a good week. Here we are. It's Wednesday. It's hump day. Thank God the heat broke a little bit. I got to tell you, that was 100-degree days, not exactly my cup of tea. However, I've been in air conditioning a lot lately because this past Sunday, I was with the Imperial Court of New York, and we did our annual Christmas in July. Yes, I know it was August. Everybody kept reminding me of that. But it was really, really a lot of fun. And we raised money, of course, for Bailey House and Housing Works. And I think we had something like 20 performers. And I did a lip sync, which like a quarter of the way through, forgot all the words to the lip sync. How does that happen? Well, I have to tell you something. I don't have a sound check because I'm not a singer, as I'm always reminding you. I'm not a singer. All of a sudden you hear that music and it's like, oh my God, what's that? That's not how it sounded at all. Anyway, don't even bother with my tale of woe. Tomorrow night, if you are in New York and want to come and support, we will be at the Copa with a celebration of life for our amazing friend, Nick Lyon, who passed way too soon. Nick Lyon was so well known in the recording industry, discovered a lot of artists, worked with people like Ari Gold, and he was just a great person, generous, big of heart, a Leo the lion. His actual birthday is August 8th, so it was very fitting that we have his celebration of life on August 7th. He is really, truly missed. Of course, he was a dear friend of the show, of Pangea, of the artists, great support in our community. So yes, if you can come to the Copa, I never give the right address. It's over by the river. If you find yourself in the water, you've gone too far. It's like 51st or 52nd, but you all know how to use Google. So you can totally go ahead and do that. So I'm very excited today. Lately I've been trying to feature more of the upcoming artists that are at Pangea. Our show is nationwide. We have artists that stream to us from LA. We deal with people that are stage performers, musicians, filmmakers. But our person that's here today has an upcoming residency here, and I'll be giving you the dates, but I want to tell you a little bit more about them. They are a musical storyteller, a visual artist, incredible paintings, by the way, a writer, a songwriter, a performer, even a podcaster, award-winning podcaster. And I just want to read you a quote here from John Cameron Mitchell, because for me, this just summed up the person I'm going to introduce you to. American millennial Cole Porter. Hooks of Elton John, jokes of Tom Waits, and a heart of Leonard Cohen. And if that doesn't do it for you, I don't know what will. Put your hands together for our guest today, Dane Terry. Come on in. Here we go. Oh, good. Come on. Yeah, we're perfect. Okay, so we're centered, right? Are we centered? No, I'm listening to port. Here, you can come a little closer. There. Okay, great. Now we're fine. Sometimes people list to port. That's like when the Titanic was going down.
I'm familiar with listing.
Right. I figured you would know about listing.
I've listed all through my 20s.
You were a lister? Were you more left or more right?
I think I was swaying sort of.
You were a swayer. A swayer.
I moved through the night. Looking for icebergs.
I love that. Right. Because you never know when you're going to find one.
You never know.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
I'm excited. You're going to be here at Pangea.
I'm here at Pangea right now.
You are? My God, if you didn't tell me that, I would have thought I was having a hallucination. Dane.
Yes.
You're going to be here the 21st of August and the 21st of September.
That is correct.
And you were just here in July.
I was just here in July.
Great.
Yeah.
Great. I love that. What made you choose to do your residency here?
Oh gosh, Pangea is great. I performed
Pangea is great.
so many times. I love the people.
Love it.
It's the sound is good.
Yep, we have good sound, good people,
great,
good,
a good room. You know, I mean that stuff does go a long way. Like I was telling you earlier, you just rarely get it. You really get both of them in one package, where the people are good and the vibe is good, and the hardware and
all of it.
The art can be good.
Right, the whole 9 yards, and you can get dinner here too.
Yeah, and it's got dinner. Yeah,
and it's got dinner. What more could you ask? And it's on the Lower East Side.
Wine, yeah.
So, my God, I was reading all about you. You certainly are an incredibly dynamic. I'm going to call you a package. Is that okay?
Yeah, by all means.
But you do all of it. You do it. How is it that you are so gifted in so many areas? There are people, I watched you play piano, and amazing. Your fingers fly, right?
Yeah.
But then, as a storyteller, your words and thoughts also fly. The concepts and everything. How did all this come about?
Well, I mean, I think like any, it all started when I, from a very young age of trying not to get eaten by my parents. You have to entertain them, like many
parent eaters,
many species of mammals and birds. No, I think I had to, I had a very vivacious, entertaining family. Lots of uncles that spin yarns and.
Okay, I love that. Wait a sec. I'm not going to let you throw that phrase out. We're not yarn spinners. I haven't had anyone. You're right. You like where are your people from? What's your
Ohio
ethnic?
Via Kentucky. So
Kentucky.
Then Ireland before that.
And then Ireland. So that we've got Ireland. They are yarn. The minute you use that word yarn, I'm part Irish.
We're hillbillies. We're Appalachian yarn spinners. Yeah. So like my uncles could hold court at a bar, and my whole family, like the extended family, cousins and everything, we'd get together. And there was always somebody that played music, and people would sing.
You grew up with this.
Yeah, and then people would tell stories that were funny and great, and this kind of stories that you just want to hear over and over and over again. So it's very much in my blood. So, and then I'll give you the quick,
it's okay. Background. This is your moment. It needs to be quick. I'm loving this because I grew up, my mother being Irish, told tales of when someone died at the wake, they would pick up the body and dance with it. And that's,
I've never heard that, but that's
now you found that out. Yeah, because they're all about joyousness, drinking, storytelling, music, drinking, and the whole thing. So,
music,
so you
drinking,
picked up
laughing,
on all,
drinking,
more drinking. So you picked up on all of this.
Yeah. And I mean, I started out wanting to be a doctor. That didn't work out. By the time I was very sciencey, and I was very rigid as a kid. I was very I had to have my turtlenecks, and I had to have my corduroy pants, and I had to have my shoes tied incredibly tight.
Looking at Dane, I just can't. Who's got amazing body paint, just like all over. I can't imagine you in corduroys and turtlenecks.
Oh, I was a very buttoned up kid.
You were buttoned up.
And I would refuse to use color in my visual art.
Wow.
But then something happened. Puberty happened, and all of a sudden feelings flooded in, and all of a sudden I became a different person, and I started having feelings and expressing myself, and I started becoming very interested in both art, visual art, and music. I desperately wanted to play piano, and I desperately wanted to be funny. And
so that's interesting. I was always funny. I went from weird to she's funny, and I hung on to funny and never looked at weird again.
Yeah.
But that's interesting that you wanted to be funny. You didn't think you already were funny.
No, I mean, I grew up with again, very funny people. And as a kid,
that's a high bar.
When you're 6, you can't make jokes that make adults laugh. You try, but then you don't understand.
Because Uncle Thomas can do them better than you can.
Well, because they understand. There's something about humor where it's there's a thing there. And you don't have that when you're 9. Nobody, it's a contract that they have with you. They're but then as I got a little older, I started doing ventriloquism.
Okay, wait. Now I read everything I could find about Dane, but this is no, you can't hide that. That is freaking brilliant. You started to.
I don't mention that anywhere.
You probably. I looked at 6 different things, and I didn't see it on
my website. Yeah.
I think that is hilarious. Tell me, tell me how that started for you.
I think I saw something on TV. Or no. I saw. You remember Soap? You would remember.
Yes,
Soap,
of course. I love that. I would remember Soap. Now he just told me I'm 100 years old.
I'm also. I mean, people younger than me don't know it. I mean,
Right.
I was
remember
young
it was great.
for
Soap.
It was
You were
syndicated.
young. Yeah.
I was syndicated by the time I
You were
came.
young for Soap.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't alive when it was on originally.
Right.
It was in the 90s when it was syndicated 20 years after its
You
airing.
weren't even an embryo when it was
No,
first
I was
on.
not.
Not even an embryo.
Not a twinkle.
Not a twinkle, an embryo. Oh, I love that as a performance piece. Not even an embryo. Hold on to that thought. But so anyway, you watched this, and what made you decide that you could
Well,
do
you remember
this?
the character Bob and
Yeah.
Chuck and Bob.
But you connected.
I don't know. It's because I didn't want to be a performance ventriloquist. I just thought that if you were a ventriloquist, you got a dummy, you dressed it like you, and it was with you constantly. So my parents, being supportive people, I have to give them credit, bought me a dummy.
Right.
And then my mom, was terrible for her, but she took me to a Goodwill, which she thought were just disgusting places. They're not. But she was very much like, don't buy used clothes.
I'm a Goodwill shopper
me too,
dropper.
Religiously.
But did you buy clothes for the dummy
Baby
and yourself
clothes.
there?
Yeah, I would have to find clothes
coordinated.
Yeah.
Okay.
A lot of beige suits.
Like mommy and me.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And then I would take the dummy everywhere for about 3-4 years.
How old were you when you did this?
About 10 to 14.
Okay, that is a pivotal time in someone's life, like who you were
I was
developing.
also learning to play piano at that time,
Wow.
but very, very much not related. And
Right.
So the ventriloquism, but the thing was I wasn't funny yet. I was just good at ventriloquism.
No, but you're so quirky. This whole story is
It's very quirky.
It's very quirky.
Yeah.
The
We
whole
went to the
thing.
national convention in Kentucky.
What did they call it? The dummy convention.
No, there. That was a wild town. But
they actually had, and everyone, well, you're talking to a girl from the Bronx, so I don't even know these kinds of things. They would show up with their
with their characters, their
right.
figures.
They call them their figures.
Yeah,
they don't call them the dummies, right?
Well, there's a movement for
Is there?
Then
There's a political movement for everything. The dummies have reclaimed it.
Yeah.
My
But
God.
yeah, there was a PC term for dummies that everybody was using as a joke in the 2000s and 90s. Mannequin Americans, I think is what it was.
Stop. MAs, mannequin Americans. And you can see how AI might fit into this whole dummy thing too.
Yeah,
Think
well,
about that.
ventriloquism is like, it's a super neat art. I was always interested. The thing is that the piano, and once I started actually being funny,
right.
I kind of realized I didn't, because I was hiding behind the dummies. I got like my first showbiz gigs at 12 years old doing weddings for cousins. At like, here's $50, kid, walk around and talk to people.
And that's all you had to do.
I was really good.
Right.
I just wasn't funny. So they would like get in conversations with the dummy. My mouth would barely move. Like at the ventriloquism part, I was great.
You totally had that down. I bet that dummy talks a mile a minute because you're a quick talker. When I looked at your videos and everything, you have what we call the gift of gab.
Yes. I mean, you had to be heard in my family.
Right. I think you have to be heard in life. There are people that are like, Wendy, could you tone it down a little? No, I can't, because I'm a fast talker, loud talker, or whatever.
Well,
that's my MO.
You have to talk over the hum.
Thank you. Talk over everything, right? It's called survival here. Yeah. So you were getting paid to be at relatives' weddings to talk to people.
Yeah. So then I started then I was like, okay, I'm funny. I'm playing piano. The ventriloquism kind of fell off the wayside.
Because you could be, so I'm doing a psychoanalytical moment here, but you were able to get rid of the dummy because you, as Dane, was emerging who you were and what you were about.
I guess I was done hiding.
You were done hiding. Why do you think you? I have to go back to that. The dummy thing really interests me. I'm sorry. You had me at the dummy.
Yeah, it's weird.
So why do you think you wanted to have that cover of the dummy? You didn't want to be out there on your own.
I mean, I was 11. Isn't it every 11-year-old?
No, we've had child actors on this show or whatever,
right.
and they've just always been out there, But
I think there's something also that I connected with very much about dummies, and this translates to the rest of my work too, because it's about magic,
right?
Like the dummy. My favorite thing, and this is the reason I wasn't prioritizing being funny. Because what I was prioritizing was getting people to interact with the dummy as if it was a real person. Because then the space that they have to, the gap that they have to bridge, that little electric spark from when they start, if I move the dummy enough and I move its eyes realistically enough and I have, and my mouth,
a lot going on with the dummy.
Yeah, but if I do it correctly, it becomes for a moment a real person.
Absolutely.
And that that sort of suspension of disbelief that's what I'm interested in.
You like the suspension of disbelief, but
like
also it is a magic, and you can tell your jokes through the dummy too.
Yeah, well, I could say that was the other thing.
You could say anything that you wanted. That's what I'm thinking.
I could even cuss. And people were like, well, it's not the Dane, it's the dummy. And I would just be like, he's got a bad mouth.
Dane didn't say the F word, the dummy did.
Yeah, I got away with a lot.
Let's just blame it all on the dummy.
I got away with a lot. That's why they paid me the good bucks, $50 for the whole wedding, because I just go around and say dick, 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 dick the whole time.
I love it. An 11-year-old with a dummy that says dick, 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 dick. You had to be a big hit at that.
I was a big hit.
Isn't he cute?
Yeah.
So you were able, after 3 years, to put the dummy aside because you were actually, I think, growing into who you are.
Yeah, well, and also I think there was a transition of when I got better at the piano, I realized that like in service of that magic, the piano actually had a lot of power that I didn't realize that it had when I started.
Right.
But like I could literally push buttons on a piece of furniture, move the air, and give you feelings.
Okay, so you're hitting me with so much stuff here today. I've never had anyone describe playing the piano as moving the air.
That's what sound is.
And and I'm going to take it a little bit further, giving that to the person who is the recipient on the other end, and them having the emotional experience because you move the air.
Yeah.
Very powerful.
Yeah. And when I realized that was closer to real magic.
Right.
Like, again, I just always wanted to be an actual wizard.
But it's really all coming out here. We haven't even gotten into the Wicca thing yet, but I'm going to just go back to wizard again. What was it about wizards, Jane, that turned you on?
Well, not actually wizards, just magicians.
But like, what is it about the magic? It's the unexplained.
Well, I don't know. I guess I never questioned that. I just kind of assumed everybody wants to be a magician.
Everybody wants to be a magician. Is it the power? Is it the power that a magician has over their audience?
Or over the world? I mean, I don't know. I'd have to think about that. I don't know.
Yeah.
I really don't know. I just know that I was always super. I always wanted to be able to. I mean, it wasn't about. I don't want to do anything to people. It's not like I wanted to like hurt people.
No. It's about manipulating energy.
Manipulating energy to delight.
Yes.
To create.
We're on the same wavelength. I'm down for this. I go down the rabbit hole frequently.
Like
you're a good person to go down a rabbit hole with.
Yeah.
So you create. You've been able to create wonder on absolutely so many levels. So you're playing the piano.
Mm-hmm.
You're funny.
Kind of, yeah.
You're like, now are we like what, 13 years old?
Now we're like getting into teen years, 14, 15.
Okay,
16.
we're getting into the teen years.
But piano was never something I wanted to do as a living. It was never something I had any inkling of doing professionally.
You're so good
at all.
Right.
It was just for me. My parents came into my room and was like, "Do you want lessons?" And I said, "No."
No, you learned this by ear.
Yeah, I just learned by ear. I played. It just made sense to me, and I just liked to do it a lot. And so I would spend hours and hours and hours a day doing it. And I was planning at this point to be a stand-up comic.
I could see why.
Or like an actor, a comedian, like somebody with the arc of like Jim Carrey or my heroes growing up were Robin Williams and Jim Carrey and all the stand-up comics, Richard Pryor, like all of them. Like they're, and that's what I listened to. I have a great love for the art of stand-up comedy.
And I can believe that because your cadence when you talk is close to Jim Carrey. Yeah. Very close to Jim Carrey.
He got me through middle school by imitating.
I love this. Yeah. And Robin Williams, of course, who my husband knew very, very well. Amazing talent. Yeah. And it's what I said to you when I said you're lightning fast when you talk and they were Robin. Too. It's because
I studied him. I literally didn't even laugh. I just listened to his records.
But your brain has to work that quick too. Yeah. A lot of people don't have thoughts that come through that quick.
I practice having thoughts that quick.
How did you're so interesting. How did you do that?
God bless my friends in middle school, my friends, the people I subjected to these practice sessions, because they were like, it was basically the most unfunny improv.
They were really unfunny.
Oh yeah, well, that was again when I was 12 and 13 and sort of learning how to be funny. But I was just like Robin Williams, he just go. And I really studied like, okay, he just mentioned the word, fox. And then immediately it's got like, it's a red coat and it goes down in a hole and there's a hunter. And it's like,
it's everything that goes with it's okay. Yeah. It's free association and that kind of comedy.
And then how to make use use of it instantly.
Right.
Like how to understand instantly how to use the pieces of, and like you can't, in order to do that, you have to have structures in place to understand, like once you have a couple pieces of the fox.
Right.
Like, you start with the fox, you have a hunter, you have a mansion, you have the
it's stream of consciousness. It's every single thing that goes with it. But again, I think you still have to have a gift for it. I think you were coming upon who you were. I think that was in there all along.
Sure. Yeah.
And Robin Williams, of course, could bring it out in you. Jim Carrey could bring it out in you. Richard Pryor is slightly different kind of comedy.
Oh yeah, but great.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
And Eddie Murphy, Sam Kinison. Yeah, like, I mean,
I love
those
them.
were the raunchier ones.
Yeah, they were raunchier, and it's
Stephen
slower.
Wright and the
You've studied your comedians,
Eddie Izzard.
Eddie Izzard is hilarious.
What's her name now? She's got a different name.
Yeah, because she changed. I remember when Eddie was going through the transition.
Yeah. Anyway,
but brilliant.
But she was like her early stuff in the 2000s was like
brilliant.
And then by that point, I was already in college, and just watching stand-up.
So when you were in college, I imagine you were very formed as this performer, storyteller, comedian.
No,
still not.
So when I hit 18. The music kind of took over. Well, when I hit 18, I realized that I did not want to be a stand-up comic because I had this realization. Me and my bestie, Mark, who I still love, and we're still friends. We've been friends, God, however long that is.
I love that.
And then we were 14, but he's back in Ohio, and we both wanted to be stand-up comics. And I started thinking about it, and I was like, I just really don't want to make people laugh for money, because like then I knew it would be like work for me.
It's that pressure. It's not free flowing.
Yeah,
it becomes another thing. It's not fun.
And my dad is an artist for a living. Like he's a restorer and a painter for a living.
Oh, how fabulous!
But I saw what it did to his love of it, and so I was very cautious. I was like, I don't actually want to do that to making people laugh. I love making people laugh, and I want that. I
want that joy to always be with me. Yes. Once the money game enters.
So I made a decision then to not pursue making people laugh as a.
So now we went from so far. I have here ventriloquist.
Yeah.
Comedy, making people laugh. Now we've decided we're not going to make anyone.
I don't want to
laugh.
do that. Yeah. So I'm 18. I'm playing piano pretty well at this point, and I started getting paying gigs, playing background music in Ohio. So I was going to college majoring in just like general art, I don't know what the I want to do.
Wow, they let you do that in the college?
Yeah, because there's 2 years of prereqs that you have to take anyway.
Okay.
So there was even a college for it, like a kind of undecided college, a dean of the undecided. Even.
Got it. I love that. A dean of the undecided.
Who I was quite good friends with.
I'm sure. Yeah. And it completely legitimatized it for you.
Yeah.
I'm friends with the dean of the
undecided.
The undecided.
There's my next.
I was going to say that's your next. That's hilarious. You realize how funny that is, especially now, because there's so much pressure on kids in school. They have to decide even before they go in.
Yeah, I love it when they take gap years. I'm like, yes, take gap years.
Yeah, years, right? Just go for years. So there you are, the dean of the undecided.
Yeah, undeciding every day. Yeah,
spending every day of your life.
So I
discovering.
Yeah,
you had the beauty of being undecided because it allowed you to discover.
Yeah, and what I did was I discovered weed and drinking, because that's when I really started discovering that side of my roots, which was the let's get drunk all the time.
That's a whole Irish thing. My God.
And so I was partying a lot. I had a piano in my house. And people would come over. I was doing these gigs as a background pianist for money. And then that was like my living through college. I'd be
That's amazing. So you were that good that you were getting paid already.
Yeah, yes. And then people would come over for parties every weekend, and I had a piano, and I would just play till early in the morning while people sang along, and we'd play all kinds of songs. So I was a sing-along
drinking whiskey and smoking weed.
It was a great time. It was a great time in my life, but it also, like, I just hung out with my friends from the time I was 18 to the time I was 25, and just we're talking like drinking. Backyard barbecues around fires with beer.
I'm loving the whole scenario, but I'm also doing the math. 18 to 25, so you were in college that whole amount of time.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, it was. No degrees still.
You're hilarious. Undecided.
I could have been a doctor.
Undecided for that amount of time.
Yeah. Well, I know. I decided. So after 2 years, I decided, okay, I guess I'm good at music. because it took me until I was 20 to be like, maybe I could try making a living out of music.
It's very impressive that you were going through college, earning, buco bucks for a college student playing background.
Buco,
I know, but come on, you weren't a barrister in the coffee house. All right.
True.
And you weren't doing I did a work study job in the kitchen.
Yeah.
You weren't doing any of that. You were doing what it was that you loved already.
Yeah.
And getting paid to do it.
Getting paid to do it. And I didn't need a lot of money to get through every month back then. And because it's a specialized skill, I was getting $100 an hour.
This is just such an incredible story as you coasted through college, undecided, drinking beer, hanging out with your friends, and having the best time.
Oh, the best.
Something to be said for that.
Yeah, and I really do. I'm like, because I came to New York and kind of started my career
here
a little later than most people do.
You were 27?
Yeah, but it's because I spent my 20s just partying, and I have no regrets about that. Kids.
No regrets. And I have to say, if you're truly talented and you follow your own instincts, I have here, I guess it's a living example of being able to do that and pull it off. And you know what? You really gave your time for growth. You allowed the growth to happen. Maybe if you had I came here at 21, like a lot of people do, right?
I would have died. But.
Thank you for saying that. Right. But there's so much pressure. Oh my God, you got to decide. Oh my God, I don't fit here. Oh, I'm going to go to New York. I'll fit there. But you're right. You probably would have died.
I would have drank myself to death.
Yeah. You needed some maturity to.
I almost drank myself to death later here when I relapsed, but
we're getting into it all here today.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. Do I need to offer you a drink to continue?
No, please don't.
Okay.
My husband would be very mad at you.
Thank you. And somewhere along the way, we found a husband. How about that? That's really great. Have an Altoid. It's not like alcohol. No, I'm really good. So, you come to New York. You were from Ohio.
Yeah, from Ohio originally. Yes.
Yeah. And where was college? You never told me.
Oh, the Ohio State University.
It was Ohio State.
And
okay.
I finally decided
That's
that
a cool
I wanted
school,
to be.
by the way.
It is cool. It's very big.
And you decided what you wanted to be at that point.
I decided I wanted to study orchestral composition because being a self-taught sort of bar pianist, I had never really gotten into classical music. And then I heard Rachmaninoff's Third Piano Concerto.
Which I have no idea who that is. I have no background other than Beethoven and classics.
You should listen to it. So Rachmaninoff was a later Romantic composer. Beethoven was sort of beginning of the Romantic period, which means, anyway, we won't get into that. But the later Romantics, and then when the Romantic movement started turning into what we call, 20th century or modern or whatever, which was in the beginning of the 20th century, that's when you get people like Prokofiev, Stravinsky, Rachmaninoff, Shostakovich. All the Russians.
I just dropping all those Russian names on me today.
They're my favorites. The Russians
I know who they
favorites.
are. What is it? The complexity that makes them your favorites?
Well, I mean, there's lots of things, and there's different things about each one of those composers that I like.
But I find that music, it's beautiful, and I actually recognize the names of the people you just called out, but it's very complex, layered music.
Well, and that's why I liked it. I think, again, magic.
Right.
Because what does it do? It makes me feel feelings that I don't like. If you play the song "Piano Man" by Billy Joel,
right?
To me, by the time I was 22, I could it's like somebody saying colors. I can hear all those chords. I'm like, okay, that's C. That's C with the B.
Don't hate me for saying that. I mean, everyone loves Billy Joel. He's brilliant or whatever, but the music was so boring to me. And you brought up that song, and it's a song, right? You find yourself humming when you're walking down the street. But to your point, it is. I guess I don't have your musical background, but popular music, right?
Popular music was just pretty predictable.
Yeah, predictable.
I could hear it really easily, so it wasn't challenging to me and to my ear. And Rachmaninoff
was challenging.
It's highly chromatic. That's your vocab word for today.
Got it. Chromatic,
which of course you think means something to do with color. When it kind of does, but musically it just means that it doesn't stay neatly in a key, like the key of C major.
Right.
The notes go through all of the keys very quickly.
Right. You like the speed of it.
Well, it's not. It's the dynamicism of the harmonies.
Yeah.
So if I had a piano here, I would show you. But
we have one up front, but then you have to leave here. Yeah, we were not going to do that.
We're not going to do that. But the point is that I was blown away, and I was like, that's what I want to learn how to do next.
Wow.
And so I began studying classical music. And it was a big lift for me to get into the composition, to get into music school. I had auditioned twice, and I only got in because I slammed my fist down on this like $90,000 Steinway and started crying. And they were like, "Come here, sit down." Like, you know, because my audition went terribly. I never studied classical music, so like I tried my butt off to learn a piece of Rachmaninoff,
Right.
and I barely got it out.
Right.
And they were like, "Okay, where's your Beethoven and where's your Mozart?" And I was like, this took me 6 months to learn this Rachmaninoff.
Right, because I'm self-taught, and there's something to be said for that.
And I was reading the music like Every Good Boy Deserves Fudge, like how they teach you to read music in grade school.
Right.
So it was but they let me in, to their credit, and
that's called pure talent, though. We have to talk about that, because it's true. You know, I've met people, as you have. They've gone through all the training. They've gone to the Berklee School of Music. They're really great at what they do. But if you don't have that certain whatever that thing is, maybe it's magic, maybe it's energy, or whatever. Obviously, you had that.
Yeah, there's something.
Yeah,
and it's followed me my whole life.
Wow. What an incredible story.
Yeah. So that's what I studied for a while. That didn't ultimately work out for reasons, and I'm glad that it didn't. It was it destroyed me at that point. But
okay, but hold on. You're not going to get away with just saying that here, because we've been on a really positive roll. That destroyed you. Was it the structure?
What happened was I took 2 years of music classes once I got into the School of Music.
Yes.
Preparing me for the composition track of a degree in
which is what you wanted. Yeah, you wanted music composition.
But that is another test. You have to submit 3 scores.
Right.
And those scores are typically done on music software, which costs money.
Right.
And I didn't like notation, which is the writing down of the music. And I was an improviser anyway.
Right.
And I found that something was severely lost between the music I would make up and then me trying to write it. It would, like, by the time I wrote it, it was.
Boy, do I connect to you.
Yeah.
You are so not straight, and that's what it's been from the beginning. I don't just mean by being queer. You're just not straight. My husband, who's beautiful artwork here, completely not straight.
Yeah. Can't do it.
Was painting from the time he was 17 and earning money. Just can't do it completely. The whole self-taught thing, but that is a gift.
Yeah.
And thank God you realize that, because there are other people that might not have realized that. Right, doing terrible in music composition, they'd be like, "What the hell do I do now? What's wrong with me?
Yeah,
why can't I do?" But something in you made you continue to push forward.
Well, to not to give myself too much credit, like they when they didn't let me in ultimately to the composition program, and they had good reasons. My discipline wasn't, I had gotten some bad grades in some of the classes. I
drank too much.
I was truly, and my discipline wasn't up there, and I refused to get the expensive computer programs, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I had a dean that took me aside, the dean of the music school.
The dean, right.
Very actually well-known guy, his music credentials were impeccable in terms of like who he studied with. And he took me aside and he was like, you don't have to go to school to do this.
I'm really glad he told you that.
And I was like,
I don't.
What? And I mean, I was kind of confused. Like, what are you saying to me? And then he kind of gave me a list of classical composers that never studied. He just rattled them off. And he was like, and then he kind of gave me a little wink, basically like, go do it if you want to do it. Don't let us stop you.
Right.
And
he recognized your talent, but you couldn't fit into that school framework. Is what it was.
I mean, I think he recognized that I had something, and that I could probably be to better service in fields like in popular music or entertainment.
Yeah, entertainment.
Because that track, I'm so thankful they got me out of it. Because that track is like, you put dots on a page that you never get to hear. You spend years putting dots on pages that you never get to hear because you don't get to hear them.
Right.
And then you're lucky if you get a job teaching band at a local high school in Kansas.
Thank you but that is the reality, and that's the truth.
And that's so many people want to do that. Yeah. And like, that's great. I went to school with a lot of people who were looking to be music educators. Fantastic.
Perfect for them. That wasn't what you were trying to do.
No. So I was like, thank God.
They weren't looking for magic though either.
No.
Right.
No, they weren't. And so like they did me a favor, but it destroyed me. I didn't know what to do for a year. I just drank and partied. During that year.
the old fallback, drinking and partying.
Well, I was depressed, but I went to Bonnaroo. Do you know what Bonnaroo is?
No, I read about it online actually, but I didn't know what it was.
It's a music festival.
Okay.
It's in Tennessee, and it's like popular music, folk music, Americana, and I saw Regina Spektor there.
Oh my God, I love Regina Spektor.
This was when she was first coming up, and I saw her perform live, and I was just sort of like, I could do that. I would have to, but I had never sang in public, and it terrified me. So, but it was a way to use composition, like writing music,
Yeah.
and do something with it where people
Right.
actually heard it. I knew that I was like, instead of like making it up and putting it on a page to be safe, again, it was another version of the puppet. I was hiding behind the puppet.
So brilliant. Right. It really is. And now all of a sudden, now you can
now
sing.
I gotta be out on stage.
Right now. And now Dane can sing. You know what? You led me to the part of the show where I want to show your video.
No, show my
Okay.
video.
Now we want to see what we've been talking about here. All right.
This is the sheriff of the town of Honolulu. I bellowed into the dark, and a smokeless silence came back to me. No, not even one little spark. Oh, the whole damn town was there that night, and they said, Jackie, you gotta be the one. They said that I'd seen this cave before long ago when I was young. And turn after turn with my torch and my gun, and my feet sure seemed to know where to go. And my fire, it shrank in that damp and the dank, and I did stop there to let it grow. And as I stood there in that dancing light, a chill crept into my bones, for what I did see before me then burned into the cold hard stone. Oh, there was a list of 100 names, each one struck through with a line. Yeah, through each name a blackened gash, yeah, each name except for mine. Well, just then behind me I heard a sound, and I spun around ready to attack. But I guess I turned too fast, 'cause my torch, it went out, and I was face to face with the black. And when finally I spoke, it was the voice of a child that fell from my chattering jaw. I said, I've come to burn your dragon heart in accordance with the law. Then I held out my gun and waited for a sound, and at last from the darkness it came, and his blast, it knocked me to the ground, and I was blinded by his flame. Oh, it may have been my dear mother's face that I saw in my flash-burned eyes, but she said, get ready for amazing grace, Jackie, get ready for your time. Well, it felt like forever on the floor of that cave, and I could hear him in the dark breathing like a horse. And after a while I heard him slither away, and I did take to rekindling my torch. Oh, that new light had found me alone and alive, but something in that cave, friends, had changed. And right before I ran, I saw it on the wall, the black line through my name. Yeah, even to this day, you can see it on the wall, the line going through my name. Thank you.
Love.
Thank you.
Your Irish background, your ancestors, your storytelling, your cadence, your rhythm on the piano, all of it comes to life in this piece. It's a wonderful piece.
Yeah, that's thanks.
Yeah. And I should share with the audience, there is an actual opening to this of storytelling. Had that's like what, 3 minutes? About a 3-minute opening.
I mean, this is the problem. When I started trying to be a rock star and playing songs, every song I wrote needed an intro for you to understand what the song, what the character in the song, like the context of it.
Right.
It was almost like every song was from a different musical.
Right.
And I had to set up the
musical. Needed to, for people to know what the musical was. Yeah.
For them to understand what the character was going through. And that's why people were like, look, you've been on stage for 45 minutes and you've gotten through 5 songs. Like you're doing theater. You need to move to New York.
Right.
That's the whole reason I'm here. Because I was like, oh, I guess I am. I never wanted to be a theater performer.
No, but it is theatrical.
Yeah.
It's absolutely theatrical.
And once I got here, I was like, oh, yes.
This is me. That character on stage, and then you're the one playing the music as well.
Yeah.
And you're taking your audience with you on the whole entire
and I get to
trip.
be a little bit funny if I want to.
Yeah, no,
so it's kind of a marriage of all the things I always wanted to do.
Right.
Yeah, which is great. Yeah, it's kind of they're all coming
together. Good thing that you ended up here, Dane. Yeah. Otherwise, we don't know what would have happened.
I'd have been around a campfire in Ohio with a lot lower rent.
Right. Exactly. But I did want to talk to you when I was just doing all my research. What I hate about the New York Times, they put up a paywall there. By the way, I get the Sunday paper, so I should have carte blanche to articles like that they wrote about Dane. I never even got to see it. I couldn't get through the firewall.
Sucks. I wonder if I can send it to you.
I would love if you could send it to me. What did the New York? That is a big honor.
It was a very big honor. That was a preview for my show in the. I was in a theater festival called COIL, COIL at PS. What was then
PS 122? Yeah.
But PSNY now.
Right.
So I was in COIL. I got a committee. I won my first theater piece. My debut theater piece in New York was at La Mama, and it ended up being a big hit. It was called Bird in the House, and because of that piece, I won the Ethel Eichelberger Award from PS 122.
The Ethel Eichelberger Award. My God. No, did you ever think that I
didn't know who Ethel Eichelberger was.
I'm like, this is
until they called me and they were like, do you remember Vallejo Gantner?
No, tell me who it was. If I don't know something, I always ask.
He was the director.
He's no longer with us.
But he was in Australia. No, he's. I hope
here.
You're well.
Yeah. Hello.
He's just no longer working at PSNY. But he was the director at that point, the artistic director, and he's this, kind of Australian guy, and he called me up and goes, Dane,
Dane,
Ethel Eichelberger was, and I was like, no, and he's like, well, okay. So here's who he was, and he told me, and he was kind of like, sighing and like, and I didn't really understand why he was being so why he was kind of sighing.
Yeah, right.
And he's like, okay, so it's like he didn't want to have this conversation, and he was like, so I've got to tell you, you were nominated for the Ethel Eichelberger Award. And I love it.
That's
great. He's like, yeah. So I've got to ask you some questions, and I was like, okay. And he asked me a few questions, and the last one was like, okay, the last question I have to ask you is, if I offered you the award today, would you accept it?
Of course. You didn't even have to think.
And I was, because he had to tell me everything that was involved, all the money, which was a lot for me, but not a lot in terms of professional theater.
But the fact that this even happened for you, you know?
And so I said, well, yeah, I think I would accept. And he goes, okay, congratulations, you just won the Ethel Eichelberger.
Oh my God.
And I was like, why did we have to go through all that? It's like, sorry, Matt, we had to do
format.
That. I don't know why they had to do that, but it's like, he's like, we wanted to make sure you wouldn't take it back publicly or something.
Right.
I don't know why.
Or embarrass him in any way, shape, or form.
That's why he was so put out. He just couldn't believe he had to go through this whole thing, and he couldn't just tell me that I won.
You do a good imitation of him, by the way. You really do. I never met the man, but I think I think it's a really, really great imitation.
He was funny.
Another talent. But you've performed in Lincoln Center.
Yeah.
It's just been a role. I mean, I have so many things on you here. Talk about the Bird in the House. What was that at the Wexler Center?
The Wexler Center. So the Bird in the House premiered at La Mama in New York, here a few blocks away.
We love La Mama.
Love La Mama. Yeah, we went to Nikki saw me do my first sort of piece in New York. It was a 10-minute piece on somebody else's show. Nikki saw that,
Oh,
and he was like,
fabulous.
"You need to do a whole show with us."
Yeah.
And I was like, "I'm going to hold you to that." I bugged him for months, got the show booked, and then I hired a band. I spent a bunch of money.
It's expensive.
But I went out. I went all out for my debut, and I was very glad I did, because it ended up being a sold out run. I had spent 4 years here playing piano for everybody's cabaret show for free, or for cheap, rather.
What is that song? Everybody's Girl.
Yeah, I was everybody's girl.
Everybody's girl.
Opening night, I called in all my favors, and I had all of downtown, people liked me, I think, but I don't think that they expected to like the show, because you never do, right? You go to your friends, you're like, well, my pianist is having a show.
Yeah, I have to support him. Blah 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 blah.
And
listening to port. You have to.
I'm listening.
Titanic going down. So
opening night was ended up being a big hit, because all kinds of people were there. They all came, supported me, but then they liked the show, which I was incredibly grateful for, and then they told people, and then the whole run sold out.
Wow.
That was about my childhood. It was like it was kind of the summation of the first few years of my songwriting, and then the sort of marriage of that with my sort of storytelling, which I had started to really hone once I'd been in New York. So that was the first sort of like essay in that form for me
on stage. Yeah.
And it was a hit. So it kind of cemented me as like, oh, that's what I do. I'm a musical
storyteller. Well, I love though that you were smart enough to call in all your favors, and you did have to spend some coin on it. That's what people have to realize. That's this world.
Yeah. And I did. I went into debt for that, and I was dog walking to pay the bills, and like I had to dog walk the next day.
Well, your name is Dane.
Yeah, like a dog.
Did you have any great ones? That was a terrible joke. It's such a bad joke, and I do comedy. Shoot me for that one. I couldn't help it. But the point is, you made it happen. All right, you made the whole
me and
thing.
A bunch of other people.
I know, but you're the one that brought the other people in.
Yeah. And I had a lot of help. And including my background singers, which had to learn all of the lyrics, because I lost my voice 2 weeks before opening night.
Of course you lost. I mean, these are the things that can happen.
So we had to rewrite the whole show, take everything down keys.
Wow.
And I only sang about 4 songs instead of all 12. And they sang the other 7.
Did you ever find out why you lost your voice?
I did, because it happened again.
What? And can you share that with us?
Muscle tension dysphonia.
Yeah, I know about these things.
Yeah.
So it's caused here.
Well, it's caused here, but it's about stress and such.
It's how you manifest your stress.
And how nobody had ever taught me how to sing. So after that, people suggested that I start taking singing lessons to learn how to use my voice in the correct way. And that's when I started.
And you did.
Yeah, I studied with Barbara Mayer-Guster.
Okay, so that was going to be before you even said it. I knew it. Yeah. I'm not a singer, but I had one lesson with her because I needed to style the parodies I write.
Yeah.
And then Barbara left us. You know, terrible.
Oh, so you studied once with her?
I only went to one. I went over to her apartment. It was a song I was doing for a Christmas thing.
Yeah.
I'm funny, so I needed her to help me style the song. We didn't have enough time for her to go over. She did discuss head voice and some of that with me, but I was down to the wire, and I thought, geez, this woman would be great for me because she gets me.
Yeah,
there's some of us are not, how can I say it, run-of-the-mill amazing singers with incredible voices.
I'm certainly, I don't see myself that way.
But you know what, that piece that you just played, you're perfect for that piece. And there's things I can do.
I know how to use my voice now.
You know how to use your voice. And I desperately need that. And I haven't found anyone since that. They have to get me, right? Whoever you work with has to get you.
Yeah.
You're very out of the box.
Yeah.
And you don't need me to tell. Yeah, she was great.
Yeah,
she was a wonderful person. I love calling her name out here because I first met her here, the second table down there at Pangea. She called me over and she said, "Tell me who you are," and we started talking and. She said, "Would you like to meet me here for dinner one night?" I'm like, "Whoever does that?" I'm open that way, but no. And I'm like, "Oh yeah, when when would you like to crazy?" Yeah. And then I met her here, and then I took a voice lesson with her, and then for those of you familiar, she was murdered and left so stupidly, and left behind not only an incredible legacy, but still so many people that are broke by this. Everyone loved her.
Yeah. Yeah.
She took care of people.
She did. She had,
I'm glad that is a person that you got
Yeah.
to hone your voice.
and
with.
she was I mean, I can say this now because she's no longer with us, but she had a sort of special deal. She called it her downtown deal.
I love it.
She didn't have, it was unclear who all had the deal. For
Right.
all I know, all of us had the deal.
Right, the
And she was
downtown
just telling
deal.
but she didn't, I know she was quite pricey for uptown people, but she
She was very fair.
but she would work with you.
Yeah.
And she would be like, and she was nice enough because I was like, look, I'm a dog walker. I don't have
Right.
I don't have $120 or whatever your rate
An
is
hour or whatever.
for
Yeah,
a
she would.
week. Like,
Yeah.
I can't do that. My rent is that.
Right.
Like, so she was like, I'll work with you.
How'd
So-
you get $120 rent? I'm just joking with you.
A week.
A week. Right.
But I still, how did I
Still
get
ahead of
$500?
You're
Yeah.
still ahead of the game there. You have a podcast. You put together a music fiction podcast, Dream Boy.
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
So the show that was that was in Coyle, the one that they wrote they previewed
Yeah.
for the New York Times. That was called Jupiter's Lifeless Moons.
Yes.
That was the commission. So I moved to Cleveland for a year because they gave me a little bit of money to write it.
It was in residency. You had to do that. Is that what
It
that
was just
means?
a commission.
It was a commission.
Meaning that they pay me money to write a piece for them to premiere at their theater.
Right. So you had to go there.
I had to, well, not in Cleveland, no, at PSNY.
It was at PSNY.
yeah.
Okay.
So they gave me a commission.
Got it.
PSNY, because of the Ethel Eichelberger Award. The Ethel Eichelberger Award comes with a commission.
Yes.
So it's like,
I love this.
Yeah.
It's just all connected.
So they commission a piece from you. That's what the award is, a new piece of theater. And
How long did they give you to write it?
it was very open-ended. They sort of were like, but
Wow.
it wasn't too awful long. It was like, we'd like to premiere sometime in like a year and a half from now.
Oh, that's good. That gives you otherwise you could freak out.
Yeah. I mean, because you have to make a whole new show.
I know.
Which is a long process. So it's down the line. But then it also got pushed back because they, as you know, they got a new building.
Yeah.
And
I remember
that was
when they did
happening.
that.
I was the first show in their black box space.
Wow.
So we kept pushing back the opening for months and months and months because of the city. It was a stressful time, but
Well, the city does that to people,
Yes.
With the permits and
yeah,
everything.
Mama just went through that.
Yeah.
But I went to Cleveland to save money while I wrote this thing, and I stayed with my best friend Emily. She had like an attic in her big house.
In Emily's attic. That's going to be the name of the next show.
Yeah. Well, that it basically I started writing this epic sci-fi musical theater piece about it was way ambitious, and I didn't get very far. But while I was in Cleveland, I also started jotting down other ideas of just little things I didn't think were related to anything. And when I got back, I showed them to the woman I was working with as my director for the piece, and I said, this is the thing I wrote.
Wow.
The sci-fi thing I wrote. I don't. And she's like, that's all you got? Like, it's like 2 pages or whatever. And she was like, what else did you get? And I was like, I don't have nothing. I mean, I guess I have these ideas.
Yeah,
and I showed
right.
her like a page of things, 1 page of like 6 ideas. And she just looked at it and she's like, that's the show. Write that.
Brilliant.
And I was like,
Right.
okay.
See, you are instinctive. You had the 6 things on paper.
Right. But
You didn't know it.
yeah, I didn't know it. Yeah.
Right.
And so, but from then I sort of I went off in that direction. And so that became Jupiter's Lifeless Moons, which then became Dream Boy.
Wow.
Yeah. And because we got a podcast deal and with the Night Vale Network, Night Vale Presents.
Can people still check in this?
Dream
and
Boy is
see
still
it?
out.
Dream Boy is still out.
Quite popular. Like fans all over the world with that.
Right.
Yeah.
I Googled it, but I didn't get to watch it, so I can.
Yeah. Well, it's a audio only. It's not video. But it's.
What made you decide to just do audio and not video on it?
Well, because it's not a video thing. It's a story I'm telling with orchestral music. So
Definitely audio.
yeah, because when I say when I say that the house was dark and the shadows fell across the grass, and the green seemed to be like velvet green or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm telling you all that, you're seeing it. If I'm showing you anything, even if it's just my face, you're seeing my face and not the green velvet grass.
Exactly.
So I need you to just be in darkness.
It's like Prairie Home Companion.
Yeah.
It's an audio thing that you
Yeah, it needs to
and
be.
paints pictures.
It needs to be.
I love
yeah,
this.
because that's what I say I do now is I make little movies for your mind. That's
Oh my God. Movies for your mind.
what I do.
How do you rate them? How do you rate your
They're
movies?
all X.
They're all X.
They're all X.
So now
Dream
that
Boy is very X. Just
so
you
now
know.
that we know that Dream Boy is X, we have to talk about Dane's writing and your visuals. You're a painter.
Mhm.
You have all of these things that you're doing.
I do, yeah.
When did you start painting?
The honest answer to that is a long time ago. I mean, my dad was a painter, like I said, so I always did it because I just tried, but I was never very good at it, and it never stuck.
You're very good at painting eroticism.
Yeah, I'm good now, but I wasn't then. Like I didn't realize that
The men weren't so well endowed back in the day.
I'm sure they were.
Your work is really beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I appreciate that. It was just a new thing. Honestly, I was in Bangkok, of all places.
Oh, perfect. Yeah. Perfect for an erotic.
And I with my husband when we were still just engaged. It was right after COVID because it was the only place that was open for. He's Filipino. It's the only place that's open for both of us to get to.
Right.
Because he couldn't come here and I couldn't go there. So after 2 years of not seeing each other, we met in Bangkok for a month.
What an incredible story.
But,
I love Bangkok.
Yeah, it's beautiful, but it was a weird time to see it because it was in the middle of Omicron.
Right.
So we got to Bangkok, we quarantined, then we just stayed in the Airbnb and like canoodled for a month, just kind of seeing each other.
My heart is breaking for you. That's so painful. Every moment of it canoodling.
Yeah.
In Bangkok during oh my God, how beautiful! It's such a beautiful place. So
yeah, it is, and it was a magical month. But he still had work. He's a theater performer and a visual artist too. He had a lot of.
I love this.
He had work, so he was busy on Zoom all day. And I was bored. And so I got a set of oil pastels completely randomly.
Love it. That's what my husband used to paint in. Yeah. Fabulous.
And I never tried oil pastels. And I got them so much better than I ever got paint.
Interesting.
And that's what started it.
What is it, the fact that the control that you have with
I think it's the fact that it's hand.
That, what do they call
paint
it? Tactical.
Fluid.
Yeah.
I think I would be better at painting now after doing 400 oil pastels.
I absolutely think you would be.
But, yeah, I haven't tried.
Watercolors? You've never tried watercolors?
Watercolors. Fuck watercolors.
Fuck watercolors. Oh.
I can't. I have such respect for watercolors. I can never.
He has no respect for watercolors.
No, I can't. I have such respect. Such respect.
You just don't.
Can't
do
it.
Not your thing.
It's so hard.
Not your thing, but you have enough of your thing. Your paintings are wonderful, and besides doing well-endowed males, there's landscapes.
Yeah.
You
all
really,
parts. I do everybody's parts.
Right. Yeah. All parts.
It does lean. It lists towards dicks, though.
Right. I love it. Listing. That's the name of the show. Listing towards
lots
dicks.
Lots of cabaret shows we've named today.
What listing towards dicks?
Yeah.
I just love that. People can go to your website, right? Yeah. And which we have on the banner. DaneTerry.com, of course. Easy is the website. Dane Terry.
TheDaneTerry.com.
The
Dane Terry.com. Another DaneTerry.com from another Dane Terry.
Is that okay? So I have to tell you this. Lots of times when I'll be researching someone, I pull up things when I'm sitting on the bus. The other Dane Terry is no longer with us.
He died. Yeah.
And I originally, this is terrible. I'm like, oh snap!
Yeah, I did my guest job.
He's not here. And I was like, nobody told me. I need to talk to Steve over.
I got a Google News alert that Dane Terry had died because I have a news alert set for my name in case people write about me.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so I have.
But it's the wrong Dane Terry.
But so I was like, Dane Terry died, and I was like, oh God.
So it's thedaneterry.com, and it's Dane Terry IG on Instagram, and my amazing friend Hannah Q Dance Company. She's an incredible choreographer from Sweden originally, and I love her to death. She's got a very similar sensibility to us, and she tuned in, and she says here, great piece. Thank you, Johanna. And she, of course, has got shows coming up as well. Yeah,
thank you.
Probably like you, I've surrounded myself in a sea of artists.
Yeah.
It's safe when you think you're going to drown.
Yeah. Yeah.
It keeps us safe. So we have
this show. I should have had a few more finance people in my sea. That would the money would
maybe you can send some my way as well. Finance people who are out there that would like to get involved in the arts. Yes, you know where to find us.
I'm just looking for somebody to give me $1 million. I know you got extra. People, they have extra. I just need one.
So I just last question, and it's random. Your husband's here with you now?
Yes.
Oh, that's great.
Russ.
Two years of like being apart.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then we went through the whole visa process of getting.
I was going to say, yeah, but he's here and he's
here.
good.
He's got a green card.
Thank
as
God.
much good as that does these days.
You know what? We can't worry about everything.
Yeah.
And he's living his dream performing, and
he's working on a film right now. Yeah.
Fabulous.
He's a multi-hyphen too.
A multi-hyphen. And it's great. You're both similar in terms of what you do, and you're there to support each other.
Yeah.
I'm definitely coming to one of your shows.
Yeah, dude, please. Let me know which one.
Yeah. I want to look at my schedule for August. I don't like putting things off. I like immediacy. So it's coming up. If I'm free that night, definitely I want to go.
Do it. Yeah.
You have been fabulous.
Thank you so
Completely
much for having me.
Completely interesting. I can't wait to see what your next is. You know, I look at somebody like you, and it's like you're evolving. What we're sitting here.
I'm trying, girl. I'm trying.
We are evolving, but I love that you're working in so many disciplines.
Yeah.
That the undisciplined person is working.
I don't have discipline.
This person doesn't have any discipline at all. No, but you really do. I can tell a lot about people. I'll reach out. Certain people, they'll get back to me right away. The picture in the bio is immediate. I sent you a quick confirm yesterday, answered right away. And then other times it's like 4 or 5 days, and it's like, I'm the person that will get back to people right away.
I think that if you're going to do it as a job, you do it as a job.
Thank you. I
sit down every day at 9 o'clock with my coffee, and if I don't, if nothing comes, then nothing comes. But I work.
What coffee do you drink?
Like in terms of the roast?
I need to know what coffee you drink. The only intimate question I've asked.
I do a medium to light roast. I have Atlas Coffee Company, which is they're a subscription service that they sold me on Instagram, and I was like, all right, I'll try it, and I love it.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, it's coffee from all over the world. Should basically be a paid promo.
This should be a paid promo. Atlas Coffee here right now.
Yeah, I actually like it, and it doesn't
like
cost any more than like coffee at the grocery store, and I just don't have to worry about it. It just shows up. And
so you subscribe to it, and it's at your door. It says "Drink Me." All right, so don't judge me on this. Walmart has a giant tin of a dark roast. I think it's $12. It's an enormous tin.
Yeah.
And it lasts forever. I order it in quantity.
I love that.
Super inexpensive. And you know what? I need a dark roast.
I see. I can't do a dark roast.
You can't. You'd be wired for sound on a dark roast. I can imagine. No, I love the dark roast.
It's too intense.
I love it. I just love that. I love that.
You seem like you love
half and half in. Oh my God, I seem like a dark roast. And then I take it with my vitamin B12 gummy.
Oh, yeah.
I am ready to rock.
Yeah.
Ready to rock.
You're the Voyager.
I am the Voyager. Thank you, everybody. I so enjoyed having you today. Thank you to everybody who tuned in. One more time, August 21st and September 21st here at Pangea, 178 2nd Avenue. So what is that kabuki little dance there?
Doesn't it look pretty?
Yeah, and it does, because we have the snakes behind us. It makes you like a snake charmer. Please come. Dane Terry is a wonderful talent. You won't want to miss this. And thank you all. Have a great rest of week. Bye-bye.